we are live.
Yes, we're
Don't
back. We're back.
forget, we could wait a little bit for the people to come in.
Yes, we
Just
are
a
back.
little bit. Let me go ahead and share this live.
Woo. It has been a day with all of this snow.
Oh my gosh, hasn't it? When I
Yeah.
heard it snowed in Texas, I'm
It's
like,
not
oh
in
baby.
Texas.
Yes, it was snowing in Texas. I was like, oh baby, we in for a treat up here.
I didn't know. So wait, is the weather switching? Because why we not getting that much snow and now Texas is getting snow?
I don't know. It was like a little bit, but I've never heard of it snowing in Texas. I
It did
mean,
that one time they caught that blizzard, remember? And because they weren't prepared, I think there was like a lot of power outages.
oh,
Wasn't that like a few years back though?
I think so.
Yeah, they had like a really bad blizzard at one point. But shoot, I wish like I don't know. It's like I'm a summer baby, and for a long time I would say like I can't stand winter. I can't stand winter. But I do. It's sad, right? Because I feel like
Mhm.
these kids are not going to see snow in like the next 10 years. Climate change is really going to. I just don't see a world where we're still going to get snow in New York.
Right. I don't see it either. Like, it took a very long time for it to snow. Like it just started snowing. Usually it'll get like cold in November, December start snowing. It was warm in November, surprisingly.
It was warm in December. It was like 60 degrees. I think after Christmas.
Right. It was. So
Yeah, it
I
was like
guess
60 degrees at one point. I don't know. I just feel like I don't want a world where like kids are not able to run out and touch and see snow as frequently as we did. Because I remember growing up, it used to snow like every week.
yes. Yes. I was
Every,
just telling my husband, like, I remember looking on the news to see if my school scrolled by to know that it was closed.
yeah. Or the delayed start.
Right.
At the very
Nowadays,
least.
please, we got to go through so much to find out if they have a 2 hour delay. It's ridiculous.
Oh, y'all still yeah, you're in Jersey. So yeah, you still have 2 hour
Yeah.
delay.
It's like, it's crazy.
You know
But
New
I
York
guess
don't got
we could
that.
get started. Child, I had seen the reunion. What was it, on Saturday? I seen it, but I didn't write notes. So I had to go back, rewatch it, and write notes just in case. I didn't want to miss anything because this is
Yeah.
crazy. This is crazy. It's a
It
lot
really
going on
It's a
in the
lot going on.
world.
That's why I said my head hurt. I think I text you and I said I finished watching, but my head hurt. It's just too many moving parts. I mean, we're gonna get into it, but I just feel like it's just
Right,
too many musical chairs going on here. Let's introduce this character, this plot. Who remembers this
right.
side mission? And this, that, and that. It's just too much going on right now for me to
Way
keep
too
up.
much. Way too
It's
much.
just a lot. It's a lot. I will let you take the charge and you could gladly tell. Like, we want to start from the
Okay,
beginning.
so let's start from I had to write my notes. Kiki cheating on her husband and paying for the date. I'm
She
just
didn't pay
like,
for the date.
I know, but the way Tisha like worded it and like said it was like as if she paid for the date, and I'm just like, you sound stupid. And then
That's
when
what
Kiki
Martell said. You made it seem like it was arranged, Tisha.
right, so when Kiki was like, yes, and did
And your point is
right, and then when she explained it, I'm like, it makes sense. So I'm just like, Tisha, come on, come
right. No,
on.
first of all, let's do a round of applause for Kiki because Robin Dixon people. That's how you clear a bitch right there. That's how you
Right,
clear it. If you gonna sit there and be like, I'ma stick beside it all the way. She said, and your point
right.
is
I was here for that. I
next,
was here for that. Like,
next.
we both had infidelity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
what you telling me?
everybody admitted to having infidelity, but the two couples where we're like, now y'all know damn well. Not saying that everybody gets cheated on in every relationship, but I'm
Right.
like, I don't
But
know.
my thing is, she brought that up because, all right, we're talking about this year. You're bringing up stuff before I was married. Why
Right.
are we
And making
touching
it
on something from 15 years ago? Let's
and
talk about now. Let's talk about today. And that's the thing. That's why I was like, when Kiki hit her with the end, your point is, I'm like,
right.
I respect anybody who know what their situation is, and just what you gonna tell me. You can't spray me when I accepted it. Now I'm talking about you. Let's go back to you.
Right, right. What did she think? She thought that was some tea
She
that
thought
she could just
she
hang
thought
over
she shot a
Tisha's
shot.
head.
She thought she shot a shot. First of all, don't nobody even care about Key's relationship. I mean, I care about it, but not really. It's you and Marcel that's really on the show. So
Right.
it's not really something like I care about when it comes to Kiki. But if you want to name it, it doesn't seem like she care. It does not seem like she care. You're on mute.
I feel like this. You can't hold something over my head I already said out loud. Like you can't spill my tea. I already spilled. Like you can't spill it for me.
Yeah. No, you can't spill it. And when she mentioned the date story was like what? She said he asked her for money. She didn't know what it was for. And then he went and took the girl out. And then she raised all hell in the restaurant. So to me, that sounds like I don't think she knew the goings ons of what was happening. He just pretty much was doing it behind her back. But when she found out, she turned up.
Right, right, right. So I think I appreciate how everybody was saying, "Oh, you made it seem like she paid for it." I was like, I was here for it because, girl, these reads, and she didn't even do a background check on all these reads that she was preparing. I don't get it.
Tisha is just like
She was ill prepared.
she's no, but what's going on? Tisha is
She's
like
slow.
she's like gunning. If that makes sense. It's like she got a hit list, but it's like you're hitting these shots, and it's like if only she waited, like it's almost like it's either too early to shoot the shot, too hard. Like when she said pop some pills to Stormy, where that came from, that was like,
Right.
wow, where did that even Marcel said
Right.
your move, that was a bit too much. It's like you either come in it, it's like she don't know how to time it. Like
But
the reads could be there, but she don't know how to time them.
this is my thing though. You can't accuse everybody of popping pills and being on drugs. Now you need your behind whoops because now you messing with people's livelihood. When you say something like that on a public platform such as theirs, you gotta have facts to back it up. You just can't accuse people that own businesses of being on drugs.
No.
So for her to say Stormy pop, go pop some pills. What is her obsession with people on drugs? And just because you're taking a medication does not mean you have a drug addiction. And I hated the fact that the way they handled this portion of the reunion, it was just like, how didn't you guys do proper research? You know what I mean? As far as methadone and all of that, they put people that are addicted to painkillers, they put them on methadone.
Yeah.
And methadone does not stay in your system that long. So I'm trying to figure out, in having a person that's a recovering addict or an addict, I'm not sure where she is in her recovery process or whatever, and to not do proper research before sitting down. Of course, the methadone is not going to be in her system. And I think if she was calm and wasn't such a nervous wreck, she would be able to properly articulate that. I'm sure there's recovering addicts that watch the show that will be able to identify with Kiki. I just feel like they dropped the ball with this addiction thing, and that could have really been Kiki's storyline, and they could have really made it make sense.
They could have made it make sense. And also, like, to add on to what you're saying about how they handled it, what I didn't like is that Carlos and Melody already confirmed, because when Marcel said, oh, she used somebody else's pee, y'all just throwing shit out there. Melody already said she went in the bathroom with her and that there was producers in there too. Carlos did not deny that is what happened. So we're going off what these people are saying, that there is Producers, Melody as a witness. She did not even know she was getting drug tested to get somebody's pee. So now that we done said all of these things happen, why is it that Tisha and Marcel still was like, or the test was this, or it's like y'all just always gotta like, it's kind of like similar to what they did with Stormy when Stormy said I was in Forbes or I was already written about, and then they're like this. Like, it's not true. It is true. I knew about Stormy's products. I knew about, you're on mute if you're talking. I knew about Stormy's products already. I knew who she was as a person. So her accolades is not her lying. But for some reason, it's like, even when faced with the truth, them two sit there and act like they didn't hear what was just said. They just said she was not in there by herself. Now, this test, the girl clearly said she was willing to take the test. Now, if Melody didn't administer it right, I don't know how it goes with peeing in a cup. But at the end of the day, clearly she ain't got shit to hide if she was willing to do the drug test and that there was a producer in the bathroom as well. So I'm confused on why y'all are still sitting there putting these accusations out there for somebody that is recovering. That's not even good for somebody that's recovering, that you just want to keep putting that on me. Like, you want to keep putting it on me that I'm doing drugs. How am I, like, most of the support, and I'm not going to negate what she might have did when she was on the narcotic, because that's another thing. I'm not going, if what they're saying is true, then okay, maybe there is some trauma there. But now she's in recovery, and it's like, if you're not going to support, don't sit there and make it seem like she's this mastermind where she's taping up pee to her thigh. And she didn't even know she was taking the test.
I'm like, why is Marcel acting like a damn parole officer?
Right. And then here come Maurice. Or what is the or? There's no or. There's no or. Melody says she was there. And if you don't believe Mel, the producer was there. So there's no or.
Right. It just really bugs me. Let's read the comments real quick. Yes. What was the pop some pills comment about? And why didn't Stormy say something back to her? I wanted to jump into the TV. I think the reason why, in my opinion, I feel like the reason why Stormy didn't say anything was because she's probably taking medications for anxiety. So she probably already feels, this is just my opinion. I'm taking a guess because I don't think Stormy's on drugs, but that's the only thing that I could really, I think she did mention anxiety or something.
I know she mentioned depression at one point.
So you already feel bad trying to juggle all of this, and then you're depressed. So she probably felt bad, and at the same time couldn't think of something witty. I don't understand how they let Tisha, that just got off the little bus, read everybody to filth. That's beyond me. How they let Tisha, of all people,
clear,
whose every fourth word is incorrect. I don't know how they let her read them. I really don't understand. It says Kiki admitted to her medically prescribed addiction because of an injury. It was unfair for CK, Tisha, Marcel to treat her. They treated her like garbage. And
why was she even there?
I feel like Kiki was Marcel and Tisha's storyline. So you talk about this girl, the person having an addiction, low key, when she wasn't there. She finally comes on the show to defend herself, and y'all basically tell her lies, shut up, get off the show.
And that's why I'm like, where is her husband? Like, that's my thing. What I don't like is that everybody got an other, you know? And I don't know if her man don't personally want to be on the show. I don't know what that is, but there's no other cousin. There's no other family member. There's nobody. If you're going to have this woman here who is dealing with recovery, don't you think she should have some sort of support system on her side while people are telling her she's still on drugs? Like, there's no cousin or nobody that Carlos King could employ to get them to say, shut up, she's not. Or to just say what she's been doing in the background to be a better person. She had no one. Kimmy was silent. Maurice was basically agreeing with Marcel. Tisha and Marshall. I mean, Martell and Melody don't really. I mean, Melody was trying to defend her with the whole P thing. Like, no, she did not have all of that stuff. And Martell was the one who was like, Tisha, you made it seem like it was arranged. But other than that, she didn't have that champion in her corner. And that's a slippery slope for somebody in recovery to be in such a stressful position to prove themselves all the time, beat their chest. Like, I am not on drugs today. I'm good, and you have no support. I
No,
just felt like that was a ball
like
drop.
Mel helps her, but poor Mel. Let's read some other comments. I know a few women struggling with this at the current time because of back surgeries and individuals going through stage cancer. Yep. Kiki at this point need not to provide anything to anybody. I say get off the show. Unless Kiki is gonna show, like, I think what will work for Kiki is showing like therapy, going to therapy, and her journey through recovery. I think people will identify with that more. I feel like this when Kimmy was like, oh, at the barbecue, she came up sweating and stuff.
It was hot. It's Alabama.
But this is my thing. Kimmy is annoying because you are a whole nurse, and it didn't dawn on you that not only you might be suffering from menopause, but Kiki might be suffering from menopause.
Maybe. Or maybe it could just because it's hot and it's Atlanta and it's a barbecue and there's no AC. Like we just walked from up your driveway and I'm a little big. So maybe I'm sweating. And yeah, maybe I am about to be on camera and I'm nervous. And there's a lot of other reasons. It does not mean that I'm on drugs. And my thing is this. Once again, if she is, I'm not saying show the proof, but don't just throw these accusations out and you talking about stuff from 2021, 2020, and all of these things. What are we talking about? It's 2024. It's 2023. Y'all were filming. Why are we still bringing this up? And I had to call, like I had to pick you up and do. I'm not saying she don't have to make amends for that. But what I'm saying is, it sounds like y'all are throwing this out there anytime she make an accusation about a cheating thing. Like, keep it on the level. Like if Tisha don't want to go back and forth with marriages, that's fine. But to talk about my drug addiction that was brought up, I guess, behind her back, and like to Mel and Martell back in the day. Like, why are we still doing this? And I think what will help Kiki also is if we are going to keep Kiki on the show, we need to see her with her kid. Apparently, her kid is really good in football. We need to see her be that football mom. We need to see a well-rounded Kiki. If Carlos King is not going to invest in Kiki, then let her go.
A lot of times, too, people don't want to be on the show, too, to protect their job. Because a lot of these people be having 9 to 5s. Don't want to jeopardize their job, don't want to put their kids on camera. So, like, I get it, but I feel like Kiki could show more. You ain't got no friends. You ain't got what you got. And I also feel like this. I feel like Tisha did vent to Kiki about the infidelity in her marriage and telling Kiki to keep her ear to the streets. Oh, go ask this one. Did you hear this? This is what I saw on his phone. Because we had heard about that last reunion with the text messages in the phone, a good work day surprise.
Oh, the booty
that was
pic.
working at Black.
The booty pic.
I know she's going to vent to one of her favorite cousins, but Tisha didn't expect Kiki to say it out loud, right?
Yeah.
And now Tisha is fumbling and scrambling. How could you say that out loud? No, I didn't say that. Me question my marriage. And then you're going to say this in front of my man? So I think she's grabbing at straws and kind of like fumbling because I believe what Kiki is saying is accurate. Tisha went to her about the cheating and all of that. They had discussions about her even feeling a woman's intuition that something was going on. You can't tell me no different.
But you know what? Like Karen Huger said, she's making a choice to stay there. So what we going to do about it? At some point, Kiki need to stop being McGruff the crime dog and let it go. Now, I think everybody needs to let it go. Because even like I love when Carlos King asks, "Oh, do y'all think Tisha's in denial?" And remember, go Kimmy, go Mel, go Kimmy, go Mel,
girl,
go, you go girl.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious. I'm just like, you know what? That's something I would say because you don't want to get involved. You're trying to be politically correct yet. You know, Tisha's silly. She's just, and she ain't there.
And you know what? And Kimmy said exactly what I've been saying. Look, Tisha not leaving unless y'all gonna present the woman before her. It is a marriage. And like Melody said, I think Tisha needs something a little bit more concrete to walk out of, and I understand that. That's why I've been saying we need to let Marcel cheat in peace. Look, he got these girls. If he do got a syndicate, these girls know Tisha's the wife, and they are old school mistresses. They the old school mistresses.
Even if he has videos and pictures and all of this stuff, I don't think she's gonna leave him. So I think everybody needs to mind their business.
Yeah, just let her be there.
You know, she knows what she knows, and she's seen things. I'm sure things she hasn't even shared with anybody.
Yeah, maybe.
So let her.
Or what if he's not? Who knows? Look, at this point,
what if he's not? He could be flirting.
Point, nothing's been presented. No, he's not that fine and don't have that much money where these girls is that quiet. Like, you just can't be telling me that he got some chick. I mean, unless they in Africa where he was or whatever, and they just happy. But other than that, I don't know. I was just saying, at this point, it ain't nothing concrete. Ain't no girl coming. Right. So let's just let sleeping dogs lie. Let's let them be in that marriage and call it a day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so let's read some of the comments. I believe CK gave Marcel and Letitia questions handed to them beforehand. I believe that's a good point.
So they did seem a little too prepared.
That's a very good point. My problem also is that Kiki had a 15 and 16 or a 16-year-old son who access to social media. Can you imagine going to school and everyone saying your mom is on drugs?
Yeah.
Tisha's out of line. Kimmy is also trying to play the fence, like she's so accurate about everyone. Like she's a therapist. She just needs to deal with the fact that she just don't want to have sex with her husband, really. I wouldn't want to do nothing with Uncle Fester either. So I don't blame her Lobito Bamba for going missing. I don't blame it.
You said I wouldn't want to have sex with Uncle Fester either.
I don't want to either. He's chiming in on everybody's portion of the reunion to give his 2 cents. And I'm like, ma'am. Well, you know, they act so sassy. Like, really? Handle your own mess. Because as far as I'm concerned, not that it's for me to like, I really don't like the responses he gave Carlos when it was about him and Kimmy and the whole.
I feel like, is he a man trying to masquerade as an asshole? I'm so confused on why he is the way he is.
I don't know.
And what I've been telling you, Kimmy wants to keep her good standing with the Scott family. I've been telling you ever since, I don't know what happened. Kimmy used to voice an opinion. Now, I'm not saying that means her opinion got to be my opinion, but she used to have a little bit more conviction in her voice. All of a sudden, everything is this.
First reunion, after that was it.
Everything is this. Oh, Lord. Oh, child. Oh, I mean, like, girl, just talk. What's going on?
She talks for anybody else's situation. Now, when it comes to
it's like, girl, like, just find the search party is still in effect. I am searching for Kimmy's voice. I am searching for it. I miss the old Kimmy. Give me the old Kimmy back.
Right.
Drawing abs on himself.
I can't stand him for that, child.
No.
I had mentioned that in my other video.
How did you feel about when Carlos tried to make that joke and here he go comforting Martell?
What joke?
When he sat there and said something about, he said something, I forgot what he wrote, but he went like this to Martell. He was like, oh, you know, it's just a thing. It's, oh, you know, I have to say it or something like that.
Oh, okay. So Kiki threw the drink on Tisha and Carlos was like, you know, when Mel did it, we was like, okay, girl, he deserved it. And then he made a face. I feel like Carlos, and I like Carlos.
I do. I love Carlos.
Carlos, don't get me wrong when I say this, but he panders a lot to heterosexual men.
Didn't I tell you he does that tap? He always does that tap.
Why when you don't do that tap to Mel, you don't do it to, I'm not saying he doesn't comfort the black women of his shows, but I'm just saying he panders to a lot of heterosexual men, and I'm just saying, Carlos, that ain't the hill that you want to die on.
Yeah.
Respectfully, that might not be the hill you want to die on. Seeing the caliber of men that you nursing.
My thing with Carlos is, listen, I can understand how a producer and a creator of a show could get close to, especially when you're hands on in it. I can understand how you could develop friendships and get close with these cast members. If you feel like it's getting awkward for you, remove yourself. Get a host that can literally ask the questions and gut punch the way you need it to do. I'll do it. Like, everybody know I'm good. I would love to work with Carlos King. Carlos want me to ask some questions. I'll come on there like Nicki Minaj and ask every goddamn question you need me to ask without a problem, without a hesitation. Boo, I will do it for you. But at the same time, it just seemed like Carlos is getting to a point where, like, you can't even make a joke. And this is why I don't like comparing the two, but it's like I can't not do it. Is when Andy Cohen, for instance, for BravoCon, allegedly he asked Giselle, "Is it okay if I make this joke about Juan?" Apparently, she told him no. He made the damn joke anyway, saying, "Thank you guys. Somehow I see all of us are staying in this hotel. I hope Juan didn't pay the bill." Something like that. He told the joke anyway. The thing with Andy is he could love you. You could be his favorite housewife. But if it's not your season, you're going to sit in that fire. Nene Leakes, when she closed that laptop, when it was the virtual reunion, that was the last one she did, she was getting attacked. I know he loved his little Boop. But guess what? Boop got to get it today. And
Right,
I can't save you. Just like Giselle with the book. I keep saying Giselle is a favorite of the network. Monique brought that book. Sorry.
right,
You gotta hear her read off Mr. Bryan's phone number. And I'm not gonna tap and be like, Giselle, it's gonna be okay. No. Like, if it's getting awkward, get someone else to host. I will do it. I
don't think he want to do it. I don't think he want to do it because I mean Andy Cohen hosts his reunion, so I think CK is going in that same direction.
But he has to be cutthroat like Andy. He can't still have compassion where you constantly do this thing where you're tapping Marceau, you're tapping Martell, you're constantly like, it's gonna be, if you're scared to make it, it's okay. Some people can't host. It's a tough job. Some people can't do both. I can't be close to you and ask questions about your personal life. That's why Mona Scott for a while wasn't hosting Love and Hip Hop. She had other people do it until I think she eventually got there. But at the end of the day, at some point,
it might be a conflict of interest too.
Yeah.
How could you get to the nitty gritty when you've had relationships with these people? Like, you can't. And I feel like Andy is biased too. I feel he's just copying Andy's method.
Andy is biased, but he will let a
very biased.
First of all, Housewives of New York, Bethany Frankel season 10, I think, Island by herself. Everybody hated her except for Sonia.
But you could tell you could tell who Carlos don't like, and you could damn sure tell who Andy don't like.
You can tell, but I'm saying those reunions run different. Unless we know something we don't about editing. But other than that,
it's a comment down here that I'm gonna put up there. But okay, let's read the comments. Quite frankly, if Martell is on the show next season, I will not be watching. He actually is. They are filming, and they filmed him getting arrested. We are going to talk about that. Him getting arrested. We're going to talk about all of that. How Carlos confirmed on a video with him and Heavenly that they are filming, and Heavenly wanted to tell her, why did he get arrested? But we're gonna get to that because that's a lot, child. That's a lot. Okay, Scott 2.0, Kimmy and Maurice add nothing to the show. They need to go. I agree.
I want to give Kimmy another shot, man. No. Kimmy, find your voice. Find your voice. Oh, I liked Kimmy in season 1.
Her voice and her libido said, see ya. Oh. So we also saw how CK had to calm Martell down when he wanted to get in Mel's face. CK told him, not on my show. Martell is dangerous. Absolutely. Now we're going to get to him walking out. I want to read one more comment. Then we're going to get to him walking out. We're going to talk about Tiffany. Then we're going to get to him with the tight ass suit that looked like it snapped in between the legs like a toddler's onesie. We're gonna get to
like
that.
suit.
Allegedly, don't sleep on Martell and why Carlos is tapping him, girl. Oh, I heard that too.
Wait, I ain't hear nothing. We not trying to go there.
People messing on the show. People say things about,
Oh no, I don't see that.
Carlos is a little bit deeper, if you know what I mean. But I don't know.
I don't believe that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh man, like some
King shows favoritism and it's getting on my nerves. Absolutely.
I just think he's in an awkward position, and I think hosting might maybe for I don't know because I heard he's good on Bell Collective with hosting, but maybe it's just particular cast you're too close to, and that's fine to admit. And like I said, Kenya Clark will gladly host Huntsville. Carlos,
right.
I want to work with you. I will do it.
Right. I feel like though that might not be a bad idea, him getting influencers and YouTubers to ask the difficult questions without being biased. I also feel like he needs to start asking the questions that the fans want to know the answers.
I don't think he wants to go there. I don't think he wants to go
Twitter spaces. Get your ass on YouTube and look at these conversations that everybody is having, these groups on Facebook. It's like he's saying, oh, I can't answer that right now. Okay, wait till the reunion. We wait till the reunion. Nothing. Okay. You're not going to talk about the revenge piece. All right, fine, Carlos. Then he says, oh, wait till the event with him and Mel on Sunday. You know he's not going to answer it then. Then Heavenly asks him, what's going on? Oh, we're filming. Okay, now, come on now.
No, he lets them get away with like what they're not going to talk. And that's another thing I will say about you worked on Housewives, Carlos. You know better. You know better. You always talking about how people need to share their story on Housewives. You cannot say you're not about to mention this revenge piece unless it's coming out in part 3. But I ain't seen no trailer for it. My whole thing is this. You know good and well what people want to ask. Go there. And if you don't want to go there, get someone else who will.
Go there for you.
I don't care if Martell yell at me. I got 2 big ass brothers. He don't want this issue. I don't care. I listen, Carlos, I am here. If you need me to do this, I'm a no name. You can build me up. And I can do the hosting. I'm a no name. Build me up. I can do it for you. I can do it for you. I'll gladly go there because I don't have no stake in it.
Somebody needs to go.
They're not my friends. They're not my friends. I don't know these people. But this is your first show. This is your baby. It makes sense why this may be hard for you to go there. And that's fine. Just admit it. And then just get someone else to do it.
Right. Yeah. Okay, one more comment. We're going to talk about Tiffany.
Yeah.
PK has to be fair. He's one-sided, always in favor of the Scots, but thankfully, Melody has great communication and discernment and always come back with the comeback.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I definitely agree. So Tiffany and Lou come out and they have a discussion about Karen syndrome. I believe Tiffany is a damn Karen, and I don't care what nobody tell me. Any chance she's around a group of Negroes, she taps into that Karen side.
Is it just me, or like when they did the recap for Tiffany and Lou? Once again, this season was so goddamn long that I forgot about all of that charade shit. This is why reality TV show doesn't need to be 986 episodes because you're literally burying the best ones. Because that charade episode was lit, and I forgot the girl was even on. I forgot all of this.
Was last season.
I forgot all of this because it was just such a long ass season that you buried the fact that you had a housewife from Atlanta on here and that Tiffany asked the most disrespectful shit known to man to this woman.
It was disrespectful, but it made for excellent TV.
Oh, it was excellent. It was excellent. She went for her.
Tiffany. Okay.
She went for her.
Okay. She said, I'm securing my spot in my belly on this show.
She love that. She said, you think the pee is that good that it could hold him down? I was like,
but she said what everybody was thinking. Like, come on. Now you either going to answer that or you going to say You had a business arrangement. Now let's kind of talk about that.
Oh, you
Well,
just gonna skip over Tiffany and Lou?
no, before we get to that, what do you think about Martell and Marceau speaking to Tiffany? Do you feel like they should have just went to Lou first?
I feel like I don't know. I'm conflicted. I feel Lou. All right, part of me is like Lou should have been looped in, but at the same time, like Martell said, he was already meeting with her for business, and Marceau just happened to stay around. And I think there's also room for you're a grown woman who asks disrespectful questions to a girl that I was dating at the time. I think I'm allowed to ask you, why did you do that? And I don't think in that conversation Martell was necessarily rude. Marceau was the one that said the Karen comment, from what I remember. Once again, this was like a 900 episode season, but I don't recall Martell being aggressive during the conversation. It was more so like a why. Why would you do this? Why? And she kept thinking this baby bump was going to get her out of shit. And it's like, you can't ask a question to somebody who I'm bringing on, not only to my event, but on this platform, and just ask them a bunch of embarrassing. Because what Tiffany said was way worse than what Martell did. Honestly, I feel like even when they said, Lewis, do you think you need to reconsider the apology? For him to say, I don't know about that, I think you should give an apology, because you came at them very hard, like, because you believed her version of events. The question she asked to this girl was very rude. And had she not been pregnant, I felt like we would have got the Sheree Whitfield from Atlanta. But we didn't get that.
I don't feel like we would have got that version of Sheree, because we all assumed that it was a business arrangement. We all assumed that.
Listen, don't try me on camera. Don't try me.
That ain't no real relationship. I do have a problem with how far Martell and Marceau went in on her, because you should address the husband.
You should.
Yeah, make a comment here and there, but it was 2 against 1, and she's pregnant.
Oh, come on. We can't be using that, and she's pregnant. Nobody told her to waddle to Sheree and say what she said. Like, come on. You put the baby bump in danger.
But let's bring it back to the reunion.
Okay.
Marceau had a good point. When they asked, okay, are you dating this woman? No, I'm not dating. We're just friends. And then he slipped up when Carlos asked him, so when dating Sheree, yes, we're dating. And then he switched his answer. And Marceau was like, oh, so you took the bait. So you are dating. Yes, we're dating. But you just lied and said that y'all were friends. So I'm just saying, there was no need to get on Tiffany to that degree, knowing
if that was not your girl.
It was all fake.
Yeah. But hear me out. Even if it was a business arrangement, I brought you into here. That still don't mean I want you to be disrespected. You know what I'm saying? It still does not mean that I don't value that you even made an appearance in Alabama for my show to get ratings and to help build a story. I don't like, even if it was a business arrangement, there had to be some level of friendship and understanding. So I still don't want you being disrespected on the show and somebody asking you, do you think your pussy that good that you gonna hold him down? You don't think he's in love with his ex-wife? Like, that's a bit aggressive. And who are you? I would respect it if it was Kimmy or Tisha. Tiffany, you are not that close to Mel to even ask these damn questions. You're an add-on. So it's like you inserted yourself in such an aggressive way where, like, I could understand. And once again, it's not like Martell pulled up on her. This was already a plan. So you came to
business, what they meeting for?
I don't know what the business was, but that's what they was meeting about. Was it the building license?
That's like this comment. He was not meeting her for business. That was just a cover. No man should be coming at a woman like that, especially 2 men. Sheree could have handled the question herself. What business would they? That's
what he said in front of her. She said it was a business.
But I'm like, why would they be meeting her?
That's what, look, they both said that on a reunion, that they was meeting up already for business. Now, what the business was, I don't know what the business was. But the point is, it's not like he pulled up on her. This was already like, I'm going to see her, so I'm going to address it. And Marceau just hung around to be nosy and catty. So I would say Marceau inserted himself in a conversation that didn't need him to be inserted. And then you could tell, because even Martell said, you know what, I'm going to go and I'm going to address this with Lou. Like, you could just tell he ended it when it started getting a bit attacky. And that's when he said, I'm just going to address this with Lou. But I think
that was the right thing to do. That was the right thing.
I think when he cut it, that was enough. I just feel like Tiffany inserts herself in stuff, but when you're confronted, it's all of this, my manness or my belly. But you can't keep having these excuses.
That's true.
You can't keep having these excuses. And as far as Sheree handling things for herself, once again, I'm personally not going to talk to a pregnant woman away. Like, you already got the shield. I mean, I'm not going to do it. So, and this is not my show. I'm not about to give y'all Sheree on.
But Martell didn't hesitate to put on a show on Housewives.
Oh God, no. Oh God, no.
He didn't hesitate. That's why I'm like,
Kenya and him went
back. I think Sheree could have said something, but I think that caught her off guard because it's exposing that it was just all a business arrangement. It was a business plan to cross the shows and to also give each one of them a storyline, to also put money in their pocket, to also make both shows relevant. You think CK and Andy ain't talking?
I hope they are.
They're definitely talking. Everybody from Housewives is always on his YouTube channel.
I hope they are, because he also says a lot of people can't do his show because Bravo don't want them to. So I don't know what the relationship is, because there's a lot of people that took a long time to do his show because of the relationship. Right. But I mean, when it goes back to even the reunion, like when they was talking about it, you could tell Martell just started getting real jumbled with it. Like, he can't keep anything straight. And I think the thing with Martell is that man is living an untruth. He keeps saying he want to be married, but do you? Like, ask yourself if it's easier for you to be a bachelor. You don't have to be committed.
But what kills me is they talked about him dating Sheree, not dating Sheree, business arrangement, and Mel confirmed it that it was in the court documents that it was a business arrangement.
Yeah. But then also when they started getting into coleslaw, he started getting frustrated.
Right. Are you married to her? No.
He said, your wife. Marceau over there slipping in. Oh, is it because of your wife? Does she think you're in a relationship? Why was Marceau acting more of a host than Carlos?
Right, because those were the questions.
Those are the questions, nigga.
I was like, thank you, Marceau, of all people. And Maurice was like, Marceau is hell. I'm like, Marceau is asking the questions that we're all thinking. Like, does she think you're married? Well, let's talk about coleslaw.
Yeah.
Let's talk about stale biscuits. Let's talk about coleslaw. Let's talk about all the raggedy, rotten Thanksgiving side pieces.
Right.
I have saw her TikTok of her explaining how she was going shopping for the kids with Martell. I do agree with Mel.
Oh, I do.
She wanted Mel's life, and you can't tell me what in the single Black female
is giving Fatal Attraction Glenn Close.
It's crazy.
If Glenn Close would have won, if Glenn Close would have won, it's giving that. It's giving very much so. You wanted this girl's life so bad, you didn't care how you broke it up, and now that he went back to you like an idiot, you think you really won something. I just feel bad, yo. I feel so. When Melody was explaining it, I'm like, you are so. As a mother, you're a mom. As a mother, imagine like this man who cheated on you for years with this woman, right? Said heinous shit. Like, I mean, crazy. I've seen some of her lives. Drunk, all of this stuff. Said some stuff. Attacked not only you, but the father of her child and your kid. So she has no issues when she goes cuckoo of attacking you or him. You have this same woman around my kids. Right. It's like she had, even though Melody's saying, I'm not afraid, there's no way that you're not thinking, is my kids okay? Who's to say she's not going to get so spiteful? One of the kids look like Mel. Because she's already off the rocker. She's already on, and it's like you don't even care enough to respect our kids. You have this woman around our kids every day just to say you have somebody. This woman is crazy. You don't see the length she's willing to go, but you're crazy too. And it's like, I gotta trust my kids in this.
Right. And that's gotta be difficult because I've dealt with that. Where my ex is with someone new that dragged my name in the mud, did so much disrespectful things to me, and you have to watch your kid go over there every weekend or every other weekend or whatever visitation is, knowing that I'm supposed to trust you with my kid, knowing that you talked bad about their mother. How does that work? How does that work? I was never able to sleep at night knowing that my child was over there in the hands of not one, but two people that don't like me.
And is willing to plot against you to take, like, and I'm supposed to trust my baby.
I wouldn't be surprised if she tried to convince him or supported him in taking the kids.
And I'm supposed to trust my little sugar mama over there, the one who came before your kid? The one, she got pregnant after sugar mama. I'm supposed to trust.
Well, they're the same age.
I'm supposed to trust my baby. I'm supposed to trust my little girls there that look like both of them. Them kids is beautiful. Look like both of them. This is a perfectly mixed batch of kids, I will say. But you mean to tell me I'm supposed to trust my little girls over there? I'm supposed to trust my son with this woman and hope that you really think a girl that immature could look past my genetics all up in their face and not have some resentment? Because people like that, even though they think they won, they still want more. They want more.
Yes, it's never enough. It's never enough. You know what? It's never enough because Mel is still able to thrive without him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like the grass is always greener on the other side till you get over there. It's just like, oh, she made Martell look so good. I want him. I want that life. I want what she has.
But you can't do it.
Just like her, emulating her. And then you get him and then you like, you know what? I'ma still copy her because she's doing even better without him than she was with him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Ariane still wants what Mel has.
Because the victory would have been if Mel was destroyed. That would have been the victory. Not only did I win, you have to be in the gutter. But the fact that she's not in the gutter is bothering her. Like some exes and their others, the ones who are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, it bothers them that you are not in the gutter. Why are you not at the bottom of my shoe? You should be at the bottom of my shoe. Why are you not graveling for my man? Why are you not? I thought we both wanted him. I thought that, wait, and then on top of that, she's probably sick in the head too. Like, why is he not so shiny as he was when he was with you? Because you can't duplicate that. What they had was magic. You can't duplicate that.
Oh, you gotta see her TikTok. You gotta see her TikTok. So the TikTok shows them going to some property he's building. Child, they always building something and ain't nothing.
Never finish.
Going, oh, this is the property. This is the property that we're working on right now to rent out, just like how Mel was. Since when you rent out property? Since when you know anything?
Where's your builder's license, girl? What you mean we? We ain't French? What are you talking about?
Wow. Then she was seen on Destiny's story at Martell's little birthday party at Cheesecake with the kids. Mm-hmm. Then she was seen on Instagram Live around like Christmas time, holiday time, building gingerbread houses with Mel's kids. Oh, this is Tank's gingerbread. This is Sugar Mama's gingerbread house.
Not you calling her Sugar Mama. That's her mama nickname. Not you. And Martell is, I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah. I can't. But I know he messed up. And I could tell by this man's actions, he is so scattered and angry. He's angry because he can't admit that you messed up. And you know what? It's okay. You mess up, get the therapy you need. Figure out what path you want to be on, whether it's a gigolo, whether it's dating multiple women, whether it's marriage, and fix yourself to get there. But he hasn't even admitted you fucked up. Like, you messed up. Melody took you back like so many times. Eventually, the time was going to be the last. Did you not think it was ever going to be the last time?
And then the whole name change thing, it was just like, oh, I don't care. If you don't care, nigga, why are we talking about it? Why are we talking about the fact that she changed her name? When you get a divorce, you're supposed to change your name back to your maiden name, not your new husband's name. That's not how that works.
And how does Coleslaw's brain work where she sees this and she still thinks that this is her man? This is your man. You want to stick beside this? He clearly has an issue with her even changing her name. You think she cares about you? You think he can? You're just a situation he is dealing with, because unfortunately his wife didn't take him back. Because if his wife will call him today, you're not about to tell me he ain't about to be.
That's what I was telling these pick-me's in this damn group on Facebook. Oh, she wants Martell. I said, don't you think if she wanted that man, they would be together like yesterday? Yeah, he's waiting on her to get the green light. It ain't the other way around. That's
he the one wearing his ring in Houston. He the one over here when she had to get the burner phone and call, and he like, but how you doing? She's like, no. He's like, I thought you said you was going to do a little prayer. Like, no, I don't want to talk to you. I'm just inviting you to Kimmy's thing and calling it a day. I'm doing my job as a reality TV star. And then when he tried to walk her to her car, persistent for walking her to her car.
Something to get her attention.
Is she not watching this stuff and thinking like, yo, this man will never love me the way he loved his ex-wife? I would think that would hurt my heart.
It damn sure would. It would hurt mine. Like, how you supposed to like me and have feelings for me and be involved with me, and you still got eyes on your ex? Yeah,
eyes. He following. He doing all this stuff.
Absolutely. But when he walked off like a damn toddler, I'm gonna get the paperwork.
Did we even get to the paperwork?
You ain't gonna get to nothing but splitting that damn pantsuit down the ass crack as tight as it was.
So we never got the paperwork to it. I can't remember. It kind of like they got the folder.
She was saying a transcript, but I don't even know what his paper said. It looked like Tisha's SAT scores or something.
But why he was so prepared? He really brought the paperwork. I don't know. But it's like
Tisha and him pulling out stuff. It's like they ain't nothing but some goddamn bills.
And what did Tisha pull out that never went nowhere? She didn't read it.
Nothing.
She pulled out the transcript of the conversation.
But her damn IQ scores. It was nothing.
We got some comments.
Nothing. Okay, Melanie is better than me. I would have been in jail already because I would have been over the house picking up my kids and beating Coleslaw's ass.
I don't trust that girl. I really don't. I don't trust somebody who's unstable. And I don't know what that feel like. That's why I say you as a mother, like how would that feel?
I've been through it.
How would you feel knowing that?
I've been through the exact thing that Mel is going through down to the only thing is it was never on TV. Literally, it was never on TV. And there was no Carlos King involved. But I went through the exact thing. So I can only imagine the things that they're not saying that's going on behind the scenes. The way the court case is going, the fact that he tried to fight her for full custody. I've been there. These niggas don't want these kids. Not saying that men in general don't want their kids, but men like that don't want their kids. They want you, and they know that the way to upset you, because nothing else is upsetting you. You having the girlfriends going from television to television show is not upsetting you. Nothing is upsetting you. They know the one thing that's upsetting you, and that is your kids that you would go to jail for, that you would lay your life on the line for, and they start messing with your kids. Not in a derogatory way, but I'm saying, I'm going to fight you for full custody. Any little thing pertaining to the kids, I'm going to fight you on it. I'm going to disrupt your parenting. I'm going to disrupt the kids' schedule and proper upbringing. How dare you able to raise our kids, but they look at it like yours. Raise your kids without me, and they're healthy, taken care of, bills paid, clothes clean, How dare you? You're supposed to need me. You're
That's
not
that
supposed to
narcissistic
be
mentality.
a single mother, no husband, no nothing, and still thrive, still succeed.
That's why Marcel always tries to dim her light too. Oh, I don't want her single. She seems happy. She seems good. Ain't not a beat. Stop. It's not like she's not making money. I'm confused. It's not like she's in the gutter. Y'all make it seem like she got divorced and then all hell just broke loose and she just like is destitute. And this is the poor example. I think Melody is doing what with 4 kids? She got 4 or 5? 4 kids? She got 4. Right?
It's 4.
She got 4 children. She's on a show that she's also a producer of, like Huntsville. Her and Martell get the credit, right? Producer credit.
Yeah.
So not only is she on the own hit network, she got a producer credit. Brought y'all on. They keep forgetting that. Brought y'all on. Has the skincare line popping. The television, the shirts. She makes appearances. I'm waiting for her to come out with a wig line. And well, not for me, but I'm saying her hair is always laid. So my thing is this: she's not. Nothing happened to her. If anything, Martell, a lot happened to him, right. And nothing happened to her. So for you guys to keep saying, "Oh, like when Marcel be like, I don't want her. I don't want Tisha sing." It's like this is not the example you use as a woman who's not succeeding at it. Only cherry on top, the only cherry on top y'all could tell is for what that we don't know is if she got a man. That's the only thing we don't know is if she got a man.
And wait till she get a man.
And wait till she because bet you I don't see Melody alone. I don't.
Oh no.
I don't see her alone. I don't see her alone. I'm not saying it's going to be a black man. I see her with someone though. Give it the next 5 years. I see her with someone and I see her leaving the show. I don't see her bringing that man on the show. I think that would be her exit. She'll pull a Bethany.
You think so?
I don't think she'll stay. I think if she finds love, Melody's going to pick love, and then she's going to produce her own shows. Because she's already trying to do producing shows.
Yeah, so, she produced a couple on she has her network.
Yeah, I don't see her. I don't see her staying on the show anymore once she has a love. Like I mean, a real love. I think she's not going to sacrifice. Right. She's going to be like, I'm out. But I know we got to get back to the reunion though. Like, so the Tiffany story, I know we ended up going back to Tiffany.
Oh, Tiffany left
because of the baby, right? Yeah.
I agree with it. I don't think Lou was invested anyway. He didn't look like the type that wanted reality TV. It looked like her.
To be honest though, Lou was never invested. That's why I'm sorry. I'm confused. So this is where I'll be like in the group chats. And what stage of this did Lewis ever say he wanted a child? He never ever said he really wanted a kid. He kept telling her how difficult it would be.
He did at one point in the very beginning.
He never said that. Not in the beginning.
He mentioned it and she said no.
Uh-huh.
And then it switched.
Yeah. Well, then the switch happened. And he was heavy-footed on that switch even before she was pregnant.
Yeah, this was like their first season or so. In the very, very beginning, it was brief. It might have just been like 1 or 2 episodes. It was very, very brief of when she's gonna like buckle down and they're gonna have a kid and she's gonna.
Was it a kid or buckle down so they can have quality time? I remember Lewis saying she wanted a home. I don't remember him saying he wanted a kid. His kid is grown. I don't think he ever said kid. I felt like he wanted her to slow down so they could be husband and wife, not children.
I gotta watch it again.
I don't recall him ever really wanting a kid. So to me, the Tiffany story confuses me because I'm somebody who listens to somebody the first time. You tell me you don't want a child, then I think
okay. Good night.
Good night. Thank you for participating. I like it. I like her comments. I like when it comes down to Tiffany, when it comes down to me, like I said, if somebody tells me they don't think we're ready for children, I need a man that's like more invested than me. Because I know there's gonna be times I'm low. I'm so confused with Tiffany. What did she think was not going to happen? He'd been telling her work schedule's crazy. You don't have enough time. This is gonna be hard. We're older now. All of this stuff. She still went through with it. So I'm confused.
I don't know. I guess with postpartum, it's really difficult though because sometimes you could think I could work, I could juggle, I could do all of this because as women, that's what they say we're supposed to do. But postpartum is very, very it's difficult to go through. It's
But I
difficult
feel
to
like
go through.
she already knew she wasn't going to have that level of support before she went and had Ace. So for you, like, not saying for you to have postpartum, because I know it's not something you can control. But I'm
Right.
saying if somebody's already laying it out for you, I don't know what you would have to do to prep for the lack of support you were going to get.
Yeah.
Because he was already laying it out that he was going to go and do work. So that means this was going to be on you. This is your project. So I just didn't. The Tiffany story always confused me because it's not
I
like he
guess I
did
gotta
it.
watch it again because I'm not sure who mentioned the baby first.
It was her.
I
She
don't.
mentioned it. That's because
Did
remember
she
she went all
mention
baby
it?
crazy.
That's why I'm a little confused. Did she mention it? And then he was like, "Well, how are you supposed to do it with work?"
Yes, that's exactly how it went.
Mm.
She said, I want a baby. Remember they sat down, had dinner. This was last season. And she's like, I'm
Right.
thinking maybe we should try to have a baby, which came out of nowhere for him. And that's when he said, but you're always so busy. I don't think there was ever a time Lewis was on board with having a baby. I think he just buckled down and just gave it to her. But
Right.
I don't think, but then I think in his mind, I wouldn't be surprised if he thought, well, she wants it so bad. I want to keep her happy, but I'm going to be busy. So I don't know what you want to
I
do.
think also too. I don't know. I mean, he should still be a little bit more supportive than he was.
But
Like
his job took him away.
regardless of who said what, it still takes two to make a baby. And it's not like that's your baby mama or your
No.
girlfriend. That's your whole wife. And regardless, you gave her a child. Now, I'm side-eyeing Lou too because are you doing things to just solely pacify your wife?
Mm-hmm.
And not doing things to genuinely make you happy. So a lot of times men will do that. I just want to make my wife happy. Make my wife okay, but what makes you happy?
He said what made him happy.
But
She
then you
didn't
also
listen.
too, when you do that, you gotta sit in it and the responsibility with what comes with saying, okay, I'm gonna go in this full head on and making my spouse happy. You gotta also take on the responsibility of whatever that comes with that.
I
You made
agree.
that choice.
I agree, right? Everything you're saying, I don't disagree with in a perfect world. But if a man, that's like, so for instance, you and your husband, so yours work nights. If you would say, oh, I want to have a baby, but he's like, my job. I'm not home at night. You know my job. I'm not home at night. I know you know my job. I'm not home at night. And you're still like, but I want a baby. I got this. He gives you the baby. He's a supportive father when he's there. But I got work at night. The next thing you know, you come to him, but you're never here. I told you I had work at night. Like, so now it's not easy to just go finding jobs. It's just not these days.
So I guess there was a moment where I wanted another one.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We already had two. There was a moment where I wanted another one, and I get baby fever every now and then. Where I'm like, oh, I could go for a boy, and Sam is very adamant, no. So I go in and out because I'm a woman. We go in and out of what we want, don't want when it comes to kids. Sam is very adamant, no.
Mm-hmm.
And he is doing everything in his power to not give that to me.
And that's why I think Lou should have did, though. Right. I will say that. Lou should have did
and
that,
it's not that I'm pressuring him because all of the points are correct. I'm just being a woman and, you get in the mood where you want to have another little baby. The baby is growing up and you get in the mood where, and you want to have what you don't have. I want to have a boy. But he snaps me out of it. Okay, we have this, we have that, then we have to find a bigger place, then we have to do this. What about we want to go on vacations and do all of this? That means less money in the savings and all of this. So he brings me back down to reality, even at moments where I feel like he's thinking about it too. It's not. It's just that he loves our children. He likes kids, but that doesn't mean he wants to have more.
Yeah.
So, like, I get it. I get it.
But
But
like, you see how you were willing to
you,
listen and be like, you know what, he
right.
brings me down to reality. I
Yeah.
feel like Tiffany just kept going and going and going and
Yeah,
going and going and
that's
going
true.
and going and going and going
That's
and going and
true.
going and going and going. So, like, what, I'm not saying what to do, but like, what would a man do if a woman
I
just
don't
keeps
know.
saying
It was
keep?
our youngest, it was I wanted. And he didn't want it. He didn't
Yeah.
want to have children right then and there. It was something that I wanted. So it was kind of like I got what I wanted, and I hate to say it like that. I hate to say it like that, but we wanted the same thing, but in two different time frames.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes in a relationship, you might bend a little bit. It's not saying that you don't want it. You might not want it
The
right then.
perfect word, you bent a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. Because he did, like, because there's love there. I don't think Tiffany don't love Lewis. I mean, I don't think Lewis don't love Tiffany. So I think if Tiffany's saying, I really want this baby, there's a world where, like, all right, you keep saying it. If this is something that's gonna make you happy, please understand, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know? But it just seemed like it didn't, the et cetera wasn't understood. And then I did like what he said on reunions. Once he noticed stuff, he realized, okay, I need to be more present.
That's true.
But I still feel like the Tiffany thing, I don't know, maybe because I'm not a mom yet, and I'm free to say that. I'm not a mom yet, so I don't know. But I just feel like I don't understand your level of confusion when it was laid out before you how tough this was going
That's
to be.
true.
I don't understand.
As a woman, you do have to take ownership
A
for
little
that.
bit. I just didn't
You
get
got
it. I personally don't get it, but I said once again, I never birthed a child. So I don't know. That's why I was like, if you're a mom, you could shed some light, but I don't.
Yeah,
I just
I
don't understand.
mean, you do got to take ownership for that because whether married or not, a man can leave and leave you
Mm-hmm.
with all the responsibility. But let's read a comment.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Stormy wanted another baby, but her husband said no. Stormy isn't pregnant. Yeah,
Oh, that's a good one, Dawn.
that is a good one.
Did you see that one?
Oh, Dawn's thing.
Yeah, look at that one. That is true.
Remember,
Remember, she
he
said he
didn't
just showed
even
up.
know he was getting married. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
remember she did say that. She said she just planned the wedding and he showed up and
He
they got
just showed.
married. So this
Okay,
changed
all right.
everything.
Well,
She's just
now
aggressive. She's one of those that
he's
just like when I
controlling.
want it, I want it.
He's controlling. She's
So
controlling.
So I go back to what I said last time. Like I think a few lives ago, I'm like, something about Tiffany just gives me vibes that she just likes to have a level of unrest. And the minute things get calm, she wants to throw a monkey wrench into it to make it a little bit more something. Because I don't understand. The man told you everything that you was going to go through if you had this kid and you still wanted it. So I don't know. I just feel like postpartum to me, I don't understand it. I always felt like it was something that came because you were blindsided by a situation.
No, postpartum is. Oh my God! First of all, it takes your body 1 year to get back, meaning your organs. I'm
Yeah.
not going to stay too long on this topic, but meaning your organs have to get back into its exact spot. So
Mm-hmm.
for 1 year, it takes your insides to get back to normal. With postpartum, mental, it's emotional. Um, like yeah, the baby needs support,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like people completely, oh, the baby is here. Let's dote over the baby and completely forget about the mother.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a shock. It's a shock to your body, a shock to your emotions. You're not sleeping often. It's just a lot. And
A
depending on
lot.
your support system, and depends on how fast it goes down. Postpartum can last up until like 7, 8 years.
Yeah, I
So
heard. I heard that. It could go
yeah,
up to
so
eight
when
years.
my postpartum was ending with my first child, I had another one.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's all about vitamins too, exercise, getting
I lied.
sunlight, having a good village support system. It can happen to anybody, and it might not happen right away. It might creep up on you where you think, oh my God, this happened to me, that happened to me. You think it's related to that situation when it's really
Not.
postpartum, and you
Yeah.
could just sink lower and lower and lower. And you hear of some mothers unaliving their children.
Yeah, I heard.
And then you look at the ages of the kids, and then you're
Mm,
like, not that I'm making excuses for it, but it makes sense
mm,
because a lot of people don't go to therapy, or it's overlooked where therapists just might isolate. Oh, you're going through this because you're getting a divorce. You're going through this because you lost your job. You're going through this because
right.
moving, or whatever the case may be, not knowing that it's a chemical imbalance.
Something. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I mean, but I will say I'll give credit to Timmy, not Kimmy, Tiffany, when Carlos says so many people who don't make the decision to walk away. And I will say, I respect the fact that you are on a own network number one show. And a lot of people, like he said, I think more people don't walk away from reality TV when they should. I will say that couldn't have been an easy decision. I'm sure the check was cute. I'm sure the fame was nice. It's a lot of things that keep people in bad situations. And the fact that she thought to herself, this is not making sense in the middle of the season, not even the finish. Like, you know how some people are like, let me push myself. No, middle of the season, you decided to walk away. I'm going to be real honest. I respect that because I think a lot of reality show people who are like running on fumes, going through things, sometimes it's okay to just take a step back and say the money's not worth it. The money's not worth it right now. I need to go and get myself together and come back stronger. So I will give her that.
That's
And
why
that is fun.
I don't know if I could be on reality TV, especially being on reality TV pregnant.
And she did that. Like, yeah, she really did pregnant. Not she
Right.
surprised wedding. She sure did.
He
She sure
really
did.
did.
She
That was
really
so
did. She
weird. And
really sat there and
he's just I'm gonna go with it. Like, do what? That's
yeah,
crazy.
and that's the type of man. That's why it's like in a weird way. What I didn't want to say about when you said, "Do you think Big Lou should have been roped in?" Honestly, I feel like they already talking to the man of the relationship. To be quite honest, I don't think Marcel really respects Lewis or Courtney. So, or Martell for that. I don't think Martell really respects Lewis or Courtney either.
No,
Like, they
he
don't
don't
really
respect
view
them.
them as the man of the relationship. They view their women
No.
as the man of the relationship. Yeah.
So we want to talk about, so Miss Betty brings
Oh,
somebody
that was
out to Stormy's mother to talk to Mel regarding the comments and the live tweets or whatever, and saying that someone filmed Mel at her home having a discussion. And
forgot all
everyone,
about
all the
this.
fans assumed it was Stormy, and also was trying to get Stormy's products banned and messing with her business. I'ma just go off the rip and say whichever one of you fans did that was horrible. Because I
Right.
don't think Mel has ever insinuated that it was Stormy. We all thought it was Destiny. I don't know about
I
anybody
did too.
else.
I
I
thought that was
always
the
thought it
rumor.
was Destiny. But to mess with this woman's livelihood and how she feeds her child is just, some of the fans are wicked.
Some of the fans are
Some of the
toxic
fans
as hell.
are
They're toxic.
really, really wicked. And like I said in another video, I can like where Mel is. I can be a fan of Mel's and not trauma bond with her just because we went through the same thing. A lot
Right.
of these women, unfortunately, it's so sad that a lot of us have gone through what Mel went through or is going through.
Especially Black
But you
women.
don't be out here trauma bonding with people. Those are a lot of people that haven't did the work to get healed.
Right.
Seek therapy. What is you out here trauma bonding with people or from reality TV?
I'm in therapy.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
Then I tell you, wait, girl, I'm gonna come after my session.
Right. But I don't like Miss Betty, and I feel like it's one of those relationships like Tisha and Miss Wanda.
Oh, girl, it was in my notes. I literally wrote in my notes, I'm giving Miss Betty the same energy I'm giving Miss Wanda. Y'all
Yeah.
daughters is grown. If they got something to say, they need to say it. And if your children can't speak up for themselves, then you need to ask yourself why. Because you did something wrong. I have always been taught to speak up for myself. And I think we shared this on a live. I have always been taught to speak up for myself. I have always been taught to advocate because a closed mouth don't get fed. And I don't know, like there's not a world where I'm gonna do a reality show and I'm gonna have my mama speaking for me while I'm sitting there quiet at the little sipping seat or whatever that manners thing, that tea they had.
Right.
Why are you speaking for me? You could be attendance in case I need backup, but I'm gonna talk. And because that's what I'm going to do. And also, I'm not going to put my mother in a position where somebody cusses her out and all of this stuff and it goes left. I don't understand why, like Wanda, Miss Wanda, and I'm looking at your daughters. Why are you putting your mother in this situation? This is not even a good look. You're too grown to not say the same things Miss Betty said.
Right. I respect how Stormy was telling her mom to chill, but it
was too late. You ain't saying nothing.
It goes to show you that how she grew up.
The dynamic.
In my opinion, it seemed like Stormy really didn't have a big voice. That's the impression that I got. Because for her to say calm down to her mother, and her mother still feels the need to not calm down. And I agree with Mel. Why are you getting in the middle of it?
But why are you in it?
Right. I should be speaking with your daughter.
Right.
And maybe Mel should have defended Stormy, but maybe on the flip side, maybe at that time, Mel didn't know who did it.
I'm gonna get to my comment on that because I feel like there's two separate things. But like when it comes to Miss Betty, and even when she threw in that comment, you still fighting a man that you divorced 3 years ago. You all right now? You speaking on shit that got nothing to do with you.
Because she watched the show. That's the bad thing about having these people. And Married to Medicine is another one. I ain't gonna really get deep into that with the sweet tea, McDonald's tea, whatever that girl's name
is.
McDonald's
tea.
They get a lot of these people on the show that have been watching the show for years and thinking they know the players. Thinking they really know what's going on. They get on the show and think they could just say whatever. Or they in these groups, they get on the show and think they could say whatever. Baby, that ain't real. That ain't reality. What you talking about, that what we watching, you don't really know what's going on.
Right, because you're not in it. You're not in it for the uncut scenes, scenes that are on the floor. You're not in it for the group chats we was in leading up to filming. You're not in it. You're just talking about what viewers see. And that's the thing. What did that have to do with the comment about the recording? It had nothing to do with nothing. You over here throwing out, you still arguing with a man for 3. That's her ex-husband. She gonna be arguing with him forever as long as coleslaw's still in the picture. That's not, but that has nothing to do with the other. And you just chatting. And that's another thing. This is what I mean by why would you put your mother in a position to look embarrassed? Like this, I would never do that. I would never. It's one thing to film the scene on the side and have you and your mom talk about it. That's fine.
Right.
But to have her come and argue for you, what? I'm gonna say the same thing with Mama Joyce. All of these mamas need to sit the hell down.
Embarrassing. I would be so freaking embarrassed. And I think on Facebook, somebody tried to come for Mel's mother. And I was like, don't
Miss
do
Van minds a business. Miss Van minds a business until
she never gets involved. She never really gets involved. You never really hear her going back and forth. The only time she went back and forth was with another mother. And that's Miss Wanda. Even when Mel and Destiny was at it and she was standing there, she still didn't go back and forth with Destiny. But you know
when the parking
Wanda did,
what's that?
You know what Miss Wanda did? Miss Wanda went back and forth with the castmates and stuff like that. Because it puts us and people our age at a disadvantage because you don't want to disrespect your elders.
Somebody's mom.
But at the same time, you might have to drag somebody's mama, and that's unfortunate.
Because think about it. I will say Miss Van kind of got me up. Her name is Miss Van, right? It's Miss Van. Miss Van kind of made me upset. Because I remember, I think I called my mama. And I sat there and said, that parking lot where they had that fight and Miss Van was still sitting in the car. See, that's the time you do get the hell up. And because everybody's fighting. It ain't the time for you to just be sitting in the parked car. I was like, I'll be damned if my mom is just sitting there while we all breaking up, fighting and tussling and arguing back and forth. But that's the only time I said, Miss Van, this is when you could get in it. But yes, Miss Van minds to business. Miss Van minds to business. But I'm telling you, all of these mamas talking out of turn, at some point, your kids is grown. They have kids. They've been married. They are with people. These are adult people. Why are you speaking for them?
These women are grandmas. Huh? Grandmas. Some of them old enough to be great grandmas.
They are grandmas. All of them are grandmothers.
Shouldn't be.
What are you arguing for? Like, you arguing with people my age. Why? Because guess what? They have mothers. So why are you arguing with people my age like they don't have moms themselves? Miss Wanda was wilding. Like, you're bugging. Everybody here has a mother. You're not the only one that can voice stuff, but everybody else's mom minds a business. And then now we got Miss Betty. We lost Miss Wanda. We got Miss Betty. Granted, Miss Betty wasn't on nearly as much as Miss Wanda, but I just feel like, why? Once again, this is the musical chairs of this reunion. I don't get all of this, like, let's bring in this person. Why does everybody need a moment? Why can't some things be a flashback?
Right.
Why can't some things be a flashback? Why did Miss Betty have to get dressed up to the night? Even it's been a long day. You didn't have to come on the stage. You do know that, right?
Right.
But I will say, with the Melody thing, it's the one thing I don't like about Melody. The one thing, not that I don't like, but it's the one thing that I'm like, oh, Melody, I can see it a little bit, is when, like, I think I wrote, when she has this habit, and I don't know if it's developed in that relationship with Martell, but there be times Melody's wrong, and she can't tell that she's wrong. Yeah. She will never say I'm wrong. And what I mean by that is, you know, you could have did more. Now, if you didn't want to do it, own it. I didn't want to clear a name because I didn't know if it wasn't her. Boom, read it. And your point is, read it.
Right.
But it's like, you don't say, oh, I mean, what would you have wanted me to do? You could have did more. You could have did more. You could have sat there and said, not Stormy. You could have sent out a tweet. You could have did something. You didn't want to do it for whatever your reason is, but why didn't you just name the reason? Just name the reason. And then she just went and deflected and started arguing instead of answering what the original point was. And she did that same crap at the little manners thing. She never answered why she didn't help more. She just, oh, why do you feel that way? But what about you?
I think because maybe, in my opinion, she might have thought it was either Stormy or
I would have said it then.
Maybe distanced herself from both of them.
I would have said it.
And maybe side-eyed them. Like, it could be them. I think when you're in a situation like that with Martell, you don't know who to trust.
And I would have said that. Why couldn't you just say that? You could have said, I didn't want to clear it because I didn't know for sure. There was many people
I can't trust nobody.
I didn't trust nobody. Right. I didn't want to say it wasn't nobody because I did not know. Why couldn't she just answer it point blank?
Yeah, she should have.
Instead, she flips it and reverses it because she never wants to, like, and I get it. Maybe you also did like to generate a little buzz for the show. A little bit of buzz. It could have, your producer hat could have been on that day. Right. But just own it, boo. Own it all the way. That's the one thing I can't stand when Mel does that. It's like, I peep the game. Just give the answer. And we could pull the kiki. And I'm gonna start saying that from now on. Your point is
right, and so let's read some of the comments. These mothers need to mind their damn business and let the children handle their own business. Kenya, I wish you would sit there.
I wish I would just sit there and not talk. That's my mom.
Oh, I'm not coming until another mother come on. Okay.
Yep.
First of all, the only reason Melanie didn't answer is because Stormy should have come to her, not her mother. She don't owe her an answer.
I do agree. She could have called her. She could have called her.
But she said she didn't have her number. But
she didn't.
Mel does change her number
a lot
or hide away from the cast.
She does. She took a break.
I just don't think Mel can trust anybody, and I think it's because of Martell.
I think so too.
But a lot of people not been slithering and snaking her on the show, she would be a lot closer and trusting a lot more people.
I agree, but then how do we fix that? How do we fix that? Like, what do you do?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this, the tail end of this season, she started coming around a little bit more as far as making amends with Tisha, speaking more to Kimmy, her and Nell, and Marceau, even though they have their thing.
banter.
But I feel like she started coming around more and kind of taking off the producer hat and more so I'm gonna be locked in with the castmates. I think she was locked in more so than any other season after her and Martell ended. I think this season she was really locked in. The end
She
of it.
was. She was a lot better because before she like last reunion, she barely spoke.
Right.
So, what do you think your predictions will be for the part 3?
Well, I want to hear why or how or when Chris Fletcher, who is a gorgeous older man, child,
Yes,
please, he's a handsome older man.
he is.
But Nell is beautiful too. They make a gorgeous couple.
They do.
But I think I do want to hear the breakdown in their marriage, and I want to hear them talk about it a little bit. I know when Nell brings it up, Chris doesn't flinch. He doesn't overtalk her. He kind of lets her just say her piece. And what happened, he does it. Say that's a lie. And standing up with the tight suit and running out and bringing out loose leaf papers and binders. He don't do none of that. You could tell he owns it and just let her have her piece.
Because that was a time in their relationship. It's a snapshot. They have something beautiful. It just was a bad moment. And I think that's the thing. 2 people healed themselves enough to move on. And that's something Martell didn't do. He just kept doing it. And I think if you heal yourself from it and then you prove action pushing forward, it's easy to talk about the darkness because you got a lot of light. And that's what I like about having them on the show. I like that I like them as an addition. I love Kristen.
So I think that, but I'm not really looking forward to the whole Marceau and Tisha thing and her cheating, and
I don't believe this.
This is what I'm saying. He's so free off the lip, off the tongue with saying, yeah, she could cheat. She got a hole in her mouth and all of this stuff, but then not covering her, leaving her wide open to be criticized and ripped to shreds. But for some reason, when it comes to him cheating, she always feels the need to cover for him.
Because he's doing
what I'm saying? And make excuses for him. Meanwhile, it's the other way around. Even if it's just a storyline that they made up, you still leaving this girl, you leaving her wide open to be called a hoe.
Pretty much. How you want to do your wife like that? Like that's just not right. Like you said, look how she just went off on Kiki because you even insinuated. Like whenever Marceau's accused of cheating, Tisha is a bulldog. She is making sure we not talking about it. I don't want to hear about it. This conversation is dead. I'm walking away. But then when it comes down to Marceau, you mean to tell me you're really going to feed this narrative? That's kind of messed up. It's really messed up.
She's kind of silly. I was going to say the other S word, but she's kind of silly to allow him to do that. You allow him to play in your face. Meanwhile, you covering this man. You covering this man from head to toe, from any type of covering your marriage, from any type of nonsense. And he leave you wide open to be scrutinized by the public. Because, baby girl, we're going to talk about it.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I don't believe it.
Not on the show going to talk about it.
I don't believe it. But at the same time, it's just sad that y'all even playing in people's faces like this. Like, and the fact that you're playing in people's faces like this, and like you said, on top of leaving your wife as a sacrificial lamb. Like you are okay with making people think she is cheating. Even if this is made up. Even if this is a scheme that Todd set up to come with the bullshit. Like, you still are sitting here allowing her to be like a scapegoat when she's never allowed you to be a scapegoat. She's never, ever, ever sat there and said, let's discuss if there's a possibility he could cheat. She don't even want to talk about it. She don't even want to talk about it. She doesn't even when you lied in her face and said you was in Atlanta with Chris, and Chris said on camera, why would you sit there and say he was with me?
Okay. So it says, first of all, the only reason Mel didn't answer Stormy. Okay, I think we read that. Mel tells everybody she needs me time. What part they don't understand? Everybody gets so hurt. Yeah. Because I think they low-key be want to be Mel's friend. Because technically, if you look at other people's TikToks and stuff like that, and all the other couples be hanging out with each other. Everybody be hanging out with each other but Mel.
Who's the everybody? The Scotts? I'm not about to sit there and hang out with them.
Baby, well, Stormy does.
Well,
listen to here. Look at the YouTuber Here for Hot Tea. It's like, how do you go from hanging out, y'all, over the summer, or even a few months ago, before the reunion was filmed, they hanging out, they dancing, they doing TikToks, going out to dinner, all types of stuff. How you go from that to stop? Go ahead and pop pills. It's not making sense.
It is not making sense. I didn't know all of that was happening. You know, you still gotta send me Coleslaw's TikToks. I didn't know she had it.
Yes, girl. She might have taken it down, but I'm gonna find it again. Tisha's I don't have time to even feel sorry for her. Absolutely not. So we could briefly talk about, I'm trying to keep it under 2 hours. We could briefly talk about, oh my God, Martell getting arrested.
Jesus. It's so many rumors.
Martell getting arrested.
It's so many rumors.
Oh my God. So they're saying allegedly, and I have to say allegedly, they're saying allegedly is because of the revenge movie. Mm-hmm. So some of the charges were, I'm going to read the charges real quick. Domestic violence, third harassing communication. So that's basically like phone calls, text messages, repeated phone calls, text messages, threatening. So like domestic violence don't necessarily have to be, and this is what I got from a lawyer.
Yeah.
YouTube. Domestic violence doesn't necessarily have to be somebody you with, or even someone that lives with you. It could be your ex that no longer lives with you, a person that you share children with. It could be a person that you're just seeing, dating, or it could be someone within your home. And it doesn't necessarily have to even be somebody you're sleeping with.
No, because it's a domestic case, right?
Right. Somebody you're familiar with and like family, close with.
Yeah.
So that's that. And then communication, threatening emails or threatening voice notes, threatening text messages, voicemails, all of that stuff. They said he had a warrant out for his arrest.
I read that. Yeah.
So what do you think about that? He bailed out that day. And literally his brother, I believe, is still in jail because he can't make bail.
Dang, Martell, where's that money at?
So what do you think about that? Do you think about how convenient they're filming the show? Even though I think they started filming maybe a day later, 2 days later. I still believe that they caught it. I don't think Martell is fired. Carlos ain't letting that man go.
I said that to you last time.
Yeah, he needs to.
I said that he ain't getting let go. I said that. He ain't getting let go. Martell
man could burn all their equipment down to the ground, and he's still gonna let him come back next season.
Martell is one of his favorites. Didn't I tell you it was? I don't know the order. Martell, Melody, Marcel. It's done. They're staying on this show forever. Like he loves them too much. But honestly, this just shows me, like I said before, how far he is spiraling. Because he's just trying to grab on any rung that makes sense instead of stopping, being still, being alone, getting therapy, and asking himself why he made these mistakes, forgiving himself for making these mistakes, because you can't fix it. You can only like acknowledge what you did, send out your apologies, forgive yourself, and move forward. That man did no work.
But the thing about it is, because he's a narcissist, that's never going to happen. That's the proper thing to do, what you said. But for us normal folks, that would be the right thing to do. But for a narcissist, they don't see anything wrong. And they just keep going. And with this whole revenge P thing and how Coleslaw is entangled in that, and I'm sure she's going to be listed in the documents.
And that's weird to me about the kids again. Why do you have this woman around her kids? Sorry, go
doing
ahead.
anything and everything to take Mel down. And if you don't know much about narcissism, it's called a flying monkey or their supply. So coleslaw would be technically their supply. So they suck one supply dry of their resources, their health, drain them emotionally, mentally, physically, financially. Then once they're done with you, they go to the next supply. So coleslaw would be technically his new supply, but also they call it a flying monkey. Well, I think some of the cast members on the show will be considered flying monkeys. Now, listen,
Explain.
I'm not here to diagnose him, but based off of viewing it, is given narcissism.
What's
And flying
flying monkey
monkeys
though?
are pretty much people that let's just say hypothetically speaking, I was a narcissist, right? And let's use Sarah. I want to get even with Sarah, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would put the battery in your back, Kenya,
Ah.
and say, Sarah, look at her. Look how she never liked you. Yeah, look how she dressed. Look how she keeps her kids. She has said this about you, that about you. Look at what Sarah's doing to me. How did she do this to me when I've been nice to you? Now you get so angry. I done sicked you on Sarah without you even realizing it.
Yeah, I could, because you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if even in their pillow talk, we can't get married. We can't be together publicly because of this. We can't because of her and because
She's
of
in
this
a
and
way.
because of
Go
that
to
and
her.
because of this and she that. And knowing her, she's probably like, I'm getting close to my happy ending, damn it. And this girl cannot take it from me. So I'm gonna show y'all how crazy. But even though you played a part in it, boo, it's not like he picked you up after. It's one thing with Sheree. He got her after. You literally was playing. You knew he was married. You at some point realized he was married and still played the part. I'm confused on how y'all both delusional. You would think somebody would sit here and say, for instance, you don't watch Beverly Hills Housewives. There's a girl on there named Brandy. I'm not going to stay on it. Well, was on there. Brandy Glanville. Her husband cheated on her with another actress. But at least the girl could say, I messed up their marriage. They're still together. The actress and the ex-husband are still together, but they're in therapy, right? Because the wife also feels bad. Like, I ruined y'all. I did ruin your marriage. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even hearing that from Coleslaw. You're even on the Tasha K interview, she was not apologetic at all. Martell, you found your one.
Even when he got arrested, speaking of Tasha K, she done told you heard what Tasha K said?
Of course, she released something. I didn't watch it though.
She done got a Coleslaw. She on Coleslaw's side saying that Martell was always her man and she's sticking beside her man. That's how people know that this whole domestic violence, third degree, whatever, is not about Coleslaw. She's sticking behind her man, and it was confirmed it has everything to do with Mel. And what in particular when they're not around each other? Now, we're just going to say alleged, but it's been confirmed that it was not about Ariana. But Tasha said that's always been her man. Now you've been a side chick for almost 10 plus years. How has that always been your man?
Because he kept going back. I understand it. It must be he both sides. Honestly speaking, we can't knock whatever she had on him because he kept going. It's not like he cheated with different women. I mean, he probably did, but there was something about this one. And maybe, like you said, the new supply. She probably revered him. She's young. She probably makes him feel like a king, like the head. Remember, he wanted more oral. Lord knows she probably subservient. All of these things. He kept going back to this particular girl for a reason. That is her man in a weird way. Part of it is her man. It is her man. It was ours. And I'm sure she would have been okay with sharing. I'm sure she would have been okay with sharing as long as the check cleared or something. But she wanted more. She wanted him to be her man. She wanted I remember when Funky Dineva said, don't have a baby by that man. Don't have it, because then you become work. Or if you want to do this side chick thing, you be fun. You become work. But she didn't care because she wanted it all. She wanted it all.
Whatever Mel had.
But that is her man. Tasha ain't lying. That's her man.
You're going to get what Mel got. You're going to get the court back and forth to court, too.
You ain't never going to know peace. But that is her man. And Tasha ain't lie. That's her man, because Martell kept going back for a reason. He kept going back. She did something for him. She provides something. What the something is, maybe it's a thrill. I don't know.
I don't know. That man constantly sits on that show and says he's single coastal elevator. Doesn't go. It doesn't. None of the
Nope.
elevators go to the top. Tisha's too. And all
But
the
she keeps
elevators
taking it. And I think that's what Martell likes, is the fact that he could say whatever he want to say on the show, but he know he could go back and tell her a lie and she will buy it. Unlike Melody eventually woke up. Mel used to be dumb too. Now we can't act like act like she just was this woman all the time. That's why it was her man. It was both y'all men. There was a point you were okay a little bit with it because you spoke to her and all of this stuff and you still stayed. But you woke up. She's young. She did not wake up. In her mind, she is gonna stick beside it. Because this is probably the best situation. I only can imagine what she dealt with before we dealing with this.
Child.
How is this better? You had to have had worse. I don't know. Because she talked about on TV, all of this stuff. Like, she's the reason why you can't come on the show. You can't get money because of Mel.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
But no, when it comes to Martell getting arrested, to be honest, like, things are going to keep happening to him until he clears up his life.
Yeah.
He's not going to clear it up.
Well, he's not going to clear it up.
It's going to keep, and I just feel bad because I think he's going to land himself in a position where he's going to lose custody of the kids. And I will say, I think Martell really do love his children. Like, I have not heard that he's a bad father.
Oh, no. I second guess that. Because narcissists, I don't know. I don't want to call that man a narcissist because I don't know for sure, but it's given. That's what it's looking like.
It is looking, smelling like it.
I question: do they love their children?
Can they love anything outside of them?
Yeah, and a lot of times it be for show, and a lot of times it be for, because one thing about kids, even when you're down and out and you're just in the dumps, it's something about the love that a child will pour on you and show you, a love that a child gives their parent. So that could be his supply too. Mm-hmm. That the love that I can take from my children. That could be it too. I don't know. I
don't know. Martell getting arrested though, honestly, like I just wish that I guess we're not going to see this until next season if they got it on camera. But I just really hope that for next season, I know we're not done with part 3, but like you said, they start getting into the questions we want asked, not the fluff. Right. We want, like Carlos, the beauty and the monster of your show is it's on social media and it's on social media. Your show is 2 shows. It's the TV version, and then you got to go on to YouTube and get everything else that happened in between. So because you know your show lives in 2 places, you need to acknowledge the questions that are online.
Yeah.
He has to.
Well, we'll see. I think the new season comes on in April. I don't know if you want to recap the third
Huntsville.
The third part. I don't even know why they have it in 3 parts, child. But the third part, they just drag it.
I'm down.
But we will be reviewing
part 3.
The third part. If you have not done so already, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget Denver World haircare.com, promo code winning for 20% off. And tell the people where they can find you.
You guys know to find me on Instagram, Kicking It with Kenya, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. It's all the same name. And also on podcasts, Mama's Cooking Podcast. I'm soon going to be filming my show. I need to bring it back. I need to bring it back. We took a break. But yes, that is where you can find me. And also on here, doing these girl chats with Shay. We got to start doing the culture.
Oh my God, there's so much I need to talk about. I got to sit here and do so many videos. I just been laying in bed doing like voiceovers because it's so easy. And I put
we need to do pop culture, girl, because that Cat Williams interview, we slept. We need to do something.
Well, Jonathan Majors interview, Zanique, is so much to talk about.
There's so much, girl. We need to do a girls chat soon.
Yes, we have to.
Yeah.
But y'all can catch us here probably next week or so. I'll
Yeah.
put it out ahead of time, reminding people.
Yeah.
But you know where you can find me here on YouTube, Shayla Said, Twitter, official Shayla Said. Don't forget to check out the website, denverworldhaircare.com. You can find me on IG, TikTok, all of those places. Oh, I'm also on Mama's Cooking Podcast.
Yeah.
They're here on YouTube, so go ahead and subscribe to their channel. Go ahead and get their numbers up.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget to share this video. Get us in the algorithm, okay?
Yes.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you for
Bye,
watching.
girl. Bye.
Bye.